fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have as well as on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook life dream. If they post a pic of me didn't clean, but it's pizza and burgers for dinner, you know what I mean. A snapshot of vacations that I got no money to take. Send you one of my sports cars, you know that it's a fake. Got my walls loaded up with things that aren't even true. Pretending on Facebook is my thing too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
2,000 friends, which I've never done met. A pic of my lunch is what you're gonna get. A hot post of your baby, say it's one darn cute kid. But I lied cause it's ugly, that's called an online fib. I talk about success in my job and the pending promotion, but in reality it's a psych, cause I got a demotion.
Only the fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have as well as on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook life dream.
You block me on Facebook without a judge, jury, or trial. I'll be creeping you the next day with a shiny new profile. See a pic of my family? Yeah, we're having a good time. Well, the joke's on you. We have not talked in 8 months or 9. I'll tell you about the weather and the stuff you don't need to know. I'll fake a good illness so the sympathy will grow. I'll ask you to donate to my made-up cause and post selfies on the daily, that ain't breaking no laws. So don't judge the life of the fake Facebook man, pretending to be happy like no one else can.
Hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing, Steve?
How are you, buddy? Hey, how are you? Good, good.
Hello, how are you doing? Hi, thank you. There he is. Good, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Amazing performance, that was awesome.
Nice performance, yes.
So there we are, Kinsman. This is the, we walked about 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers from where we met Patricia earlier, and she's now making her way into Hollinger Park for the Walk of Sorrow. And you know, we couldn't be prouder to be a part of this walk, you know, to see the love and support along the routes. You know, 50 people or more gathered up by the 6:55, the turnoff into the hospital, and have joined along the way. We started off with just a few. Now we've got quite the entourage, and it's just great to see.
Yeah, and there's still time to get down to the Hollinger Park. Patricia and the Walk of Sorrow team are just entering the park now. It's going to be an amazing welcoming ceremony. You have to hear the stories from these people. They're incredible people doing something incredible, and it's just awesome to be part of this, isn't it, Mark?
It sure is, and we're gonna make our way back to Hollinger Park right now. See if we can catch some of the speeches on the stage for you, so you don't miss any of the reception for Patricia here. And you know, she started in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, making her way to Ottawa, hoping to get to Ottawa by the 21st. So this is one of her main stops, and she says this is the biggest fanfare and support so far on her tour, and that's right here in Timmins.
All right, Kinsman, you better get your walking feet on because we're falling behind.
All right, let's go.
What a day it was, Mr. Kinsman, at the Walk of Sorrow.
It sure was. You know what? Again, taken from my own words there. We couldn't be prouder to be asked to be a part of that walk. When you ran into Patricia, headed to Thunder Bay last week, you know, they said, will you be a part of the welcoming entourage? And you know, it is just one of the most humbling experiences that we were able to be a part of. It was great to be, you know, in Patricia's presence, everybody's presence, the entourage, absolutely amazing, and the warm reception at Hollinger Park. You couldn't ask for a better day today.
It was tremendous and very heartfelt and sincere, and the honest truth is, Mark, you know, you and I growing up, and I call ourselves white privilege, and what I mean by this is that we grew up in homes that, you know, we weren't taken from our homes. We weren't stripped of our culture. We grew up with loving parents. We had all the, you know, the necessities in life. We had clean drinking water. And just hearing these stories today where these people in these Indigenous communities were stripped of the bare necessities of their life, stripped of their culture. It's heartbreaking. And we want to be part of the movement to change. And a big part of that is supporting Patricia and her team and making sure her message gets spread around the country. So it was a real tremendous privilege to be just a small part of what happened today.
It sure was. And again, thanks to Lindsay and a whole slew of supporters, a part of her walk. Lindsay, one of them. I know Lindsay because she resides in Whitby. Us Durham folk were a part of the walk. And again, she just added me to the Walk of Sorrow, Patricia Ballantyne's Facebook page, and all the pictures that we took on the walk are now posted to that Facebook page, and we're also going to share those in a nice little collage on our Facebook page when we get the chance to work our magic.
It's really funny because on two different notes. One, I have some weird sun coming into my room tonight. You can see it.
I thought you had a headset on. I was like, what are you doing?
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you're calling in from a call center tonight.
Yeah. And then speaking of the sun, I don't think you're respecting the sun, Kinsman. You got completely burnt.
Hey, no, if you can remember before the walk today, I asked you if you wanted sunscreen. You denied. I sprayed myself before the walk. I was all ready for today's walking affair. And again, couldn't have picked a better day. Like if they say you need one of the perfect days for a walk, today was a perfect day. And again, I don't think we've seen the sunshine like this in a while here in the city. It was definitely a nice reception, and everybody who honked. You know, I applaud, you know, drivers along the highway. You know, coming to the tour and us, you know, walking along the side of the highway, they'd stop, you know, offering, you know, $20 for gas, showing their T-shirts, having Patricia sign their T-shirts. It was a great showing, support of love. And, you know, you didn't get anybody getting honked or, you know, getting all PO'd because, you know, they were late to get to their meeting. Everybody took time to show their appreciation for Patricia today.
They did.
That was awesome.
Jamie take a lot of selfies with the selfie stick. I'll tell you something right now, Selena. Mark takes 100 times more selfies than I do. Right? Admit it.
Well, look at the pictures. If you again go to Patricia Ballantyne's Facebook page, Walk of Sorrow. Lindsay just she was one of the walkers. She just added me to that page. There's about 28 pictures. There's a good picture of me and Lindsay. There's a picture of me and Patricia. We have a selfie of you and I with Patricia. Lots of selfies. So I'm going to say I took the selfie stick today.
That's right. I was just about to say that Mark got a few rays today. Yeah, and I'm telling him, Carol, I don't know about his respect for the sun. I don't know.
I put the screen on, but then again, we walked. It's not too often you walk 5 kilometers with the sun beating down on you.
Watch this, Kinsman. I'm gonna fix my sun. I'm gonna fix my sun problem right now. I know what happened.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna rip the window out? There you go.
Someone's messing with the blinds. Actually made it worse.
You want to go back and fix it again while I introduce our sponsors?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the sun in here today. Like the blinds are closed.
Okay. Well, isn't that weird?
Yes, but what about our good friends at Timmins RV?
Yeah, Timmins RV. This is where you want to get yourself a brand new Keystone Arcadia. Make sure you hop online to timminsrv.com. Again, our good friend Janice, longtime viewer, a big supporter of the show. She and her family just picked up a beautiful Springdale, one of the Keystone RVs, 2021. Again, with all the amenities, if you go to the site, like the amenities are better than your house. Mm-hmm. He's paying $165 bi-weekly for what she picked up. And it has I'm just gonna say I don't have an island kitchen in my kitchen, but she's got island kitchen, sunlight or sunroom or roofs in the bathroom, you name it, double fireplaces, double fridges, and again, Timmins RV the place to get.
They have a lot of plans for these RV. The sun's driving me crazy. I'm going to be honest with you, but they have a lot of plans for this RV, Kinsman. They're not just going one site. They're going to be traveling everywhere, and they don't need hotel rooms anymore. And they don't got to worry about, look at it, I just turned light now. What's going on? But
someone's playing tricks on you. Do you want to go put a sheet up against your window or what?
I'm good, man. I'm done.
Yeah, just let her go. That's Mother Nature shining through there, right?
Yeah, that's right. But they were, and they got all these exciting opportunities and vacations planned with the family, and it's completely awesome. It really is.
It is, and again, she says when they get it, I think they pick it up officially next week. You and I are invited to take a tour of it, so she's inviting us for s'mores. So we can't wait. She says, "I'll send a selfie to you while I'm in my RV." LOL.
That's great.
Love Janice, big fan of the show, and of course, big fan of Timmins RV. And again, if you've never been to their lot, first left past the Kamoskosia turnoff, you can take a 360-degree tour at timminsrv.com and get yours because Janice saved thousands on her brand new 2021. So you can do that.
Yes, we do love them. And we're getting ready on August the 14th for 8 and 8 at the Surge. It's our first show finally. So between noon and 8, we're going to be streaming live, doing this show, but live for 8 hours. Can you believe it, Kinsman? 8 hours. What did
8 hours? I get it's enough doing 1 hour with you. Now we have to do 8 consecutive. This could put a strain on the working partnership here.
Yeah, but we're going to give away an opportunity to win $1,000 each hour.
That's
and
right.
At 8 p.m., if you're physically at the Surge, 8 people are going to have an opportunity to win $8,000. Then we're gonna have live music and DJ music and good drinks there and good food and
well, I should say drinks. Guess what's going to be in the fridge there? These KINZ and KLOMP Live 705s. Kim at the Surge going to be stocking up their fridges, and yes, that'll be one of the homes for the KINZ and KLOMP 705 Blondale beers from Full Beer.
Janice and Lori will be there. That is going to be a fun night. We've talked about these shows for a long time, and every show is going to be different. We're going to have something unique. It's a variety type show, but it's going to be a lot of fun for a kickoff. So $16,000. Maybe I'll buy myself some new blinds if I win this $16,000. Well, I can't win.
I don't think you can win. No,
maybe the person.
That'd be a bit of a conflict of interest. Who won the $8,000? Oh, Jamie did.
KLOMP, yeah.
That probably wouldn't fly well. But someone in the Surge will have the chance to win $8,000. Just think, if they get the challenge, we don't know what the challenge is going to be. Let's say it was a hard pool shot. Let's say someone gets that challenge with a hard pool shot. They walk out of there with $8,000. That's how cool it is. Or I guess in today's day and age, is it really cash, or are we just gonna send them an EMT or something, right? Yeah. Electronic. Big check. The big novelty checks.
Right.
All right, Kinsman, that's enough about me and you,
Yeah.
because we have something very cool guest tonight that's doing amazing things in the community to help support children and families. And from Smile and Hugs. First, I love this name, Smile and with the big N,
Yeah.
Hugs. But they're doing really great work in the community. It's all volunteer based, and Anne's going to come on the show and talk to us all about her organization, and we got a few messages how folks can help them out.
That's right. And before we bring Ann on, because it is 100% volunteer based, they don't get any funds for this organization. So here's what I did. Look what I did, Jamie, while you were fiddling with your blinds. There we go. If the government doesn't provide for these amazing organizations just because they are volunteer, we're gonna put some money into their EMT account tonight. So how about that? How about that, government? We're gonna raise them some money.
First and foremost, I'm surprised 8 months into the show you finally learned how to use the technology. I'm impressed.
I've actually learned how to use the technology, but it's fun seeing you have the control. You always seem to have the control.
I do. I definitely have control.
I want to mess with a good thing here. Plus, I've been, I've had the control. I was a solo broadcaster up until we started doing this show, so it's kind of nice having someone else pushing the buttons.
Yes, that's right. I do have control issues.
But I do have the expertise if you need it.
If this was a counseling sessions, they would say, Jamie, you have control issues and you got to learn to let go. So I'm learning how to let go because you're learning the technology. I've made one step forward today.
That's right. And that's hopefully someone's jotting that down now. Again, Smiles and Hugs for Canadian Kids, the Timmins branch. This is how you get money for this amazing organization into Anne's pocket. And we'll bring Anne on so we can find out where the money's going, because it goes to very, very important kids in need here in the city who are, in dire straits with, surgeries and health illnesses.
Yeah. Yes, we could see her there. There's Joanne. Am I showing here tonight? Computer issues lately. Yes, there is Joanne. Always loyal and on point. And Joanne always sends us updates of what's going on with the water park in South Porcupine. She always sends us regular updates to our IG account, and we appreciate it. And they're doing awesome work.
Nice.
And there's Amanda. Almost lost you on the 101 headed home. Stick in there. We don't want to lose you.
No, and she doesn't want to lose our guest because I saw a comment earlier. Anne is Amanda's grandma, so she's definitely interested in tonight's guest.
Well, let's bring Anne on. I think me and you have blabbed long enough. Let's see.
Anne Dysart from the 101 Mall. There she is. Hello.
To be your grandma.
No, you're not. Of course. How are you doing, Anne?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. First of all, reading about the information about your organization and doing this, majority, if not all, volunteer based, helping out children and families. I think that's tremendously amazing. And I know a lot of people need help these days. So congratulations on what you folks are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Could you, probably the best way to start off, if for folks that aren't familiar, can you give us some background of what Smiles and Hugs is and what it stands for and what you folks do?
Smiles and Hugs was a concept that we came up with years ago. Basically, what we do is just help children that have terminal illnesses. They're life-threatening, and these families need help. They're not, they can't always get the help from the government that they need. I know there's a lot of agencies out there that do supply help, but they want proof of this, and you have to go down to Toronto before you can get the money, and it's all postponed. Whereas if you have a child in need and you have to go to your doctor's appointment and it is a necessity, if you can show that to me, then we can provide you with funding to go back and forth to Toronto, and no questions asked, and it doesn't matter what child it is, so long as it's a child under 18 and has an illness that is life-threatening, then we can help.
Does that include is it the airplane, the Angel flight? If someone needed flights to and from Toronto, you hook them up with those types of hookups?
No, we can't hook them up with those type of hookups, but we support them.
Mhm.
We've made donations to them.
Yeah. Before we move any further, Amanda did to clarify herself. Said she calls her that on herself. She calls
On
her
Facebook.
that on Facebook.
Okay.
Auntie Ann to us.
All right, Auntie Ann. So there we go. I'm getting in trouble. See what happens when you, as they say, when you assume. It says you put the you make an ass out of you and me, right? When you.
That's right.
There we go, Ann. I apologize, Auntie
That's
Ann. We're going to call you from here on in.
I don't know. I think she just wants us to call her Ann, but nonetheless. So tell us a little bit more about like the team of volunteers. Are these people have they been with you for a while, or you have new people to the organization? And how, if one wanted to volunteer, how could they get involved?
We've had volunteers with us right from the beginning, like our board of directors. There's 3 or 4 of them there that have been with us right from the beginning. Different volunteers have volunteered over the years for different things. Like we also do the community volunteer income tax program. So I have a set of volunteers that does that. There's a few people in Timmins that do that. And we have 2 or 3 people over in South End that carry over the South End part of it. As for the donations and things like for the crafts and that, we have some ladies that like to knit, so they donate the crafts and we sell them here at the 101 Mall. And some people like to do the jewelry. So it's just crafts of different nature. And if anybody has something that they want to donate, please give me a call. As for the volunteers, like I said, we get a variety of different people that come in year after year, and most of it is for the income tax program, but that we have to go through Revenue Canada. You have to be approved and everything, and that's a little bit harder to get into, but we have a variety of volunteers that come to us every year. They're all dedicated. The ones that we have now are just dedicated, so we stick with the ones that we know and handle it that way.
And if there was, a family or an individual that required your services, the easiest way would just get in touch through your group, like a phone call, a Facebook message.
They can give me a call anytime. It's 705-267-3147.
Tremendous.
It's not in the middle of the night.
Okay, but not tonight. Okay, yeah, we'll make note of that. But I assume like it's an obvious statement when we say the last year and a half or so have been difficult on many different people, really challenging. Have you noticed an increase of people in need at your end due to what's been happening the last year and a half?
Not really, because I think what's happening is that the parents are afraid to travel with the kids right now because of the pandemic. They don't want to go down to CHEO, or they don't want to go down to sick kids in Toronto because of all the illnesses that are around in those areas. And it's really rampant in some places. They don't want to take the chance just to go down for their yearly checkup and things, I mean, unless it's an actual emergency, then we'll see it. But we haven't seen very much since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully with restrictions loosening up, it'll give people those opportunities because often those checkups are very important to ensure physical health moving forward. But yeah, it's definitely been challenging in different ways. Have you always? We've spoken with many different people who love the volunteer services and help people, and usually like it's in their blood. They've always in your history, like growing up, were you always someone that want to dedicate your time to helping out other people in need? Was this always a passion of yours?
Always. It started. It's kind of a silly story. When we incorporated back in the 90s or so, I had started to send gifts and cards and birthday presents and things to the kids in the States because I had good old internet, come across these sites, and these kids needed just something to pick them up. So I went to the schools up here and said, blah, blah, blah. And a few of the schools got interested and they were giving me all these cards, letters, and little gifts and then someone said to me, so why aren't you doing it in Canada? And I thought, I don't know. And then I looked online and there was no place in Canada to do this. Like there was no funding and stuff like that back then. So the rest, as they say, is history, because I thought, okay, I phoned sick kids. I sent letters out to sick kids in CHEO and everything else, and offered to donate my time for the next 5 years to try and get something going here in Timmins. And they didn't want to do it because it was too too little money for the amount of work that was going to be involved. And I said, but these kids still need to be cheered up. Like, you know, they're going through all these illnesses. They still need to have that hope that somebody out there cares. So that's how it all got started.
In 22 years it has been running. Is this right across Canada, or is this just a Timmins-based organization? Have other cities, asked you for, advice on how to open it up in their cities?
I have had people send me letters and stuff and ask for advice, and I've given them my best advice, but no, we haven't spread out or anything. Mostly what we care for is kids in the immediate area. I say immediate area being Northern Ontario. But if I have a child from BC or anywhere else, I mean, if they came to me and asked for help, I wouldn't say no. Like, I can't say no to a child, like not somebody that's going through those hardships. You know, we take for granted our kids are healthy, and we just take everything for granted because they are so healthy. But when you come along a child that has an illness, any kind of illness, it's like, I don't know how the parents can do it. I really don't. My heart goes out to them. And if I can help ease their burden, whether it's with financial or even babysitting, or, giving them a day off to have a respite care to go and do some shopping or go to the spa, do whatever they have to do, I would do it.
Someone could pick up the phone and call you tonight and, book a date this week, and you would never say no. You would never turn someone away.
I wouldn't turn someone away, but they would have to work to my schedule because I also have a sick child in my family. My grandson has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, so I do a lot of respite care and caring over there. So family first.
Yeah, I can see why we're getting comments that's stating that Anne is such a wonderful, kind-hearted person, and I almost see this role like as a guardian angel. And Anne, you said it completely right. Like, and Mark and I are in the same predicament. We talked about at the beginning of the show. We have children. Our children are healthy. When we met with Patricia and her team today, Mark and I could not directly relate to their stories because we had drinking water. We lived in our homes. We weren't stripped of our culture. And circling back to what you're talking about, there are many families out there that their children are significantly ill, may not have a long-term lifespan, or if they do have severe complications. And I think what you're doing, no matter how big or no matter how small, even if it's a day break, because these are very stressful situations, I think that's tremendous what you're doing. It really is. It really is. And I assume like the family's extremely appreciative.
If we can change just one life at a time, and that's what life is all about. I mean, is helping your fellow man, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think, Mark, that the world needs more Anns, because once again, the last year and a half, it's very easy to focus on what's wrong in the world, with our country, with our cities, with people with different opinions of ours. And we forget there's people in the world like Anne who would go out of her way to help someone they know, someone she doesn't know, just to make sure their life is a little bit easier. And
well, we have dedicated volunteers, so too. It's not just all about me. It's like I'm nothing without my volunteers.
Got a big team down there at the 101 Mall. And again, you said because it's 100% volunteer based, the government, our good old government, they refuse to help you with any of the the provincial grants. So you guys, this is where EMTs and people dropping off checks, and if big companies are able to donate, this is where you're open for all donations, because the government obviously not there to assist you.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's hard to word this. We're basically doing the best that we can with what we have. So we raise funds through little things that most people would say, well, how do you do it? And we're lucky that we have people in the community that provide us with space, like at the 101 Mall, and support us in that way, so that we're not paying full rent, and we're not paying for a lot of things that most people are paying for. Same with the internet. Like, I take what I can get. And if I can get something for free, I'm going to take it for free. So that, again, all that money, whatever money that we bring in through the crafts, and it's just sometimes just piddly amounts, sometimes it's only $50 here and $50 there, but it all adds up, and eventually it's all going back to the kids. So I don't have to worry about, having to put out, $500 or $1,000 a month for rent. I don't have to worry about these things, but I can worry about the kids and hopefully help them out in return.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good people in Timmins.
There is. We've noticed that personally, working with individuals, whether it's, it's an injury, an illness, friend, family member. One of the best things about our community, if not the best, is when there's someone in need, lots of people step up to help them.
Yep.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yes, and it's nice to see. But again, though, you don't see the people with a child because most of those people are staying at home and they're taking care of their child, day in, day out. Some of these kids need constant care, like 24-hour-a-day care. So the mother is stuck at home trying to provide that, whether it's changing a diaper on a 15-year-old or just getting them a glass of water. A lot of these kids, like I said, we take everything for granted. Our kids are healthy and they're just active. And some of these kids are in a wheelchair, from the time that they're 2 or 3 years on. And it's sad to say, but a lot of my kids, like when we first started, they were with us for maybe 2 months and that was it, like they would pass away. Our very first child that we had with us, Lizzie, she was just a special little girl, but the mother sent this letter to me, and that was when we were trying to get incorporated. And luckily enough, the Kinsman Club of Timmins had sponsored us, because when we applied for our charity status, we couldn't do it right away. We had to wait for a year. But they had sponsored us, and we raised funds for Lizzie, and we went to the schools, and they provided, this huge St. Paul's school. This must be 20 years ago, but they provided this big box of gifts that the kids had all handmade. And it was just so overwhelming. And we sent this off to the little girl. Well, the little girl got it 2 days before she passed. And then, the mother took pictures and what have you, and she sent them back to me. And it was just, it gave me purpose. This was the reason why I had to keep going and do what I have to do. And that's why I'm still here today doing what I have to do. I think somewhere, someone, whether it's a God or a super being, they were preparing me, because in 2005, I had a grandson that was born, and lo and behold, he's got Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. And it's like, it's prepared me a lot for this day, like to come to this. Like before, I couldn't continue a sentence without crying. And now it's like, you accept it and you know what you're going to expect. And you know that you can still help these kids, and you know that I can still help him and help the other kids along with it.
How much do you find your work, and you're doing a lot of wonderful things for family? It sounds like you just don't have like a strict criteria. There's many things. I would assume people would come to you also for the mental type of support if they're having just a rough day or need some advice. I'm guessing that, Anne would be someone that, people feel comfortable coming through and just walking through what's troubling them. Am I correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I get people that come in now through the income tax program. Like there's sometimes, and of course you have people that pass and we do the deceased income tax. Well, that's very, very hard to get through a conversation when the person has just passed, and they'll start talking, and before you know it, I'm standing up, and through COVID and everything, we're still giving a hug. And I know we shouldn't have, but I can't not do that. Like you put the hand stuff on, you wear the mask and everything else, and I can't not express my sympathies to somebody to, if they look like they need a hug, I'm going to give them a hug, and be damned if I get COVID. Well, I get COVID. If that's what's to be, then that's what's to be. Knock on wood, I haven't had COVID.
Thank goodness. And yeah, things get even trickier now with COVID. Yeah, you got to be extra careful, vigilant.
Had both of them. I'm safe. I usually ask people now, like, have you had both shots? And they'll say, yeah. You want a hug? Okay.
Yeah. You sound exactly like the mayor today, who we work with all the time.
Yeah.
But he's, everyone that comes by, you got both vaccinations. That's his first question.
I've had a lot of people, like I said, whether we're doing the income tax program or someone coming in, they just want to talk. And if I'm not able or capable to guide them like in the proper direction, I'll send them off to somebody who knows, a practitioner, a physiotherapist, a psychiatrist. I have people that I know like that help these people, whether they're Native or whoever they are. You know, I've had a few Native people come in and had a lot of issues like with the schooling and that, and I've sent them on to therapists here in the mall, and it's helped them out greatly. Like they still come in and see me and still say, thank you so much. You know, I'm doing so much better. And again, it's just helping your fellow man. I mean, everybody should be like that, right?
It's just what you do, right? And obviously
What I do.
That's what you do. And yes, it's obviously it resonates through not only you know, your clients, you know, personally, but to everybody that works in your organization. It's I'm sure a little bit of loving from you goes a long way, and it's nice to see that you've got a great volunteer crew that you know they basically, you know, pick up the torch and they carry on all the good that's happening with, you know, Smiles and Hugs for Canadian kids. I also noticed, Anne, that the Ontario Hydro Rebate Program also benefits your organization. How is that tied in?
Well, this year, actually, it started, I guess, 4 years ago when the Ontario Energy Rebate came up. I had my clients from income tax coming in and saying, well, what is this? And I'd say, well, you'd qualify. Well, they couldn't fill out the paperwork. So I was filling out all these paperwork for them, you know, and we do like 2,500 taxes in that 2-month period, right? So about, I don't know, 1,500 of them are so qualified for this program. So I'm doing all this paperwork by hand and blah, 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 blah. And then sent it all in and what have you, got them to sign. They do it. And then they qualified for this. And it's a rebate of like $45, $50 off of their bill. So this year I thought, well, that was silly of me. So I'm going to get a hold of Hydro and see if they actually pay these agencies to do this paperwork, right?
Yeah,
well,
and they do.
So
Nice.
I applied, and now for the next 2 years, they can call me for their Ontario rebate too, if they have to reapply, and I can do the paperwork for them. They send it in, and they're going to be guaranteed to get their $45 off, so long as they fall within their criteria.
Nice.
I think it's $28,000 for a single person and $39,000 for 2 people, and then it goes up from there. Okay. And again, it's 705-267-3147.
Right, and circling back to the question, if someone wanted to volunteer, and I know you answered it already, but I think it's good to clarify again. That would be the phone number you would call to discuss with you.
And then they'd have to come in. I'd have to meet with them and see what they were like, because everything that we do is all confidential. Like I wouldn't repeat anything from the kids or anything like that. When we make a donation, if somebody comes in and asks for money, we'll make the donation. And I have people that will come in and donate money to me for a specific child. Like we had a child that had to go through chemo there a few months back. And I went to different people in the mall and said, okay, you know, this is what I have going on. They really need the money now. They're going back to Sudbury. And you probably know who he is. They're a little guy there from South End that went to school with my granddaughter at Roland Michener. And I said, you know, we need money for this child, and would you donate? And I didn't get a no from anybody. And I might have hit maybe 7 or 8 people. And by the time I was done, like we had $1,000 and I walked over and nobody wanted to be mentioned. So we just wrote out the check, and I brought it over to one of the, where the dad works. And I said, here, do you want to give this to them? Like, they don't want the recognition. They just want to know that they're doing well, and we can sleep well at night. So if you want to volunteer, you can give me a call and we can set up an appointment. You can come in, we can sit down and talk and see what you're interested in too, because we have different things that go on. Like I said, we have the crafts that we do. So we need somebody to sit there and just do the crafts. We have the income tax program. And right now we have a yard sale going on. It starts August the 4th. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the month of August, we're going to be here at the 101 Mall. And there are loads of DVDs.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And they're for sale.
And they're all for sale. They're all $3 each. And all the proceeds, again, are going back to the sick kids in the area. So like I said, there's different things that you can volunteer to do. And if you've got a caring body and a caring soul and can keep confidentiality, that's basically all you need.
Yeah, you're right. And just an extra sell on those DVDs. If anyone out there has an RV, we know someone, and you go camping, you don't have streaming services at camp. This is the best time to get down there if you have an RV or camper. You
That's
get
right.
yourself 20 or 30 or 40 DVDs. A rainy night at camp, boom, plug it in, and you're good to go. So there's, a lot of people are still purchasing DVDs. So that's great.
We've had quite a few. We had a gentleman that donated all of those DVDs to us. A very special person again, like all of the things that we have in our yard sale were all donated. Hi, Lori. One of my biggest fans here. But so we have different volunteers, like even police officers that'll come in and donate things to me and say, well, what are you doing this year? And I'll say, well, this is what we're doing. Okay, give me a few days and I'll get back to you. And sure enough, in a couple of days, they come back and they have loads of goodies for me. So then we decide if we're having our yard sale. And like I said, all those pennies add up. And before you know it, it's $1,000. And if I can give $1,000 to a child to try and make it from here to Toronto and back without having to worry, that extra stress of worrying about where you're going to get the money from, granted, you're going to get the money back from the OHIP and what have you, but you don't have the money now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I can ease that a little bit, take that worry off of their mind, then they can worry about the child.
Well, that's it.
Exactly. I've said the same thing on this show many times, and so has Mark. When you're going through health issues with your child, the last thing you want to be on your mind is a financial stress.
It is.
And if there's a way to provide some relief to these families and you found a way, I think that's the best way you'd be able to help them out.
Yeah, even the cards and letters, like there are some kids that are maintaining and they're not getting any sicker, but they're not fully cured or anything, So we'll send them cards and letters like throughout the year and just words of encouragement, or you find a funny card that has a funny saying it, or you find the child has a fantasy for, I don't know, the cars or what have you, So you send them a little car in the mail and so the child is special all year round, not just when he gets sick. He's special all year long. And he knows that somebody out there cares. And if they get 2 or 3 gifts a month, they know that there's that many people that care, and it gives them a little bit more courage to fight whatever the illness is so that they can get better, because they know so many people are rooting for them, whether they're praying or sending these little gifts or doing what they have to do to provide comfort and care for them.
Yeah, exactly right. Small gestures carry a lot of weight.
They do. They really do.
Folks, and if you could bring a smile to someone's face, even if it's for a few minutes when they're going through pretty dramatic, trying times, it's worth it. It really is.
It's right in your title there, Ann. Smiles and Hugs, right?
Yes.
For Canadian kids, right here in Timmins. You can't get a better title than that. And when we got the message from Lori, would have been almost 3-4 weeks ago, saying you need Ann Dysart on the show to talk about this amazing organization. I'm so glad we brought you on. It's such a great treat to hear what goes on behind the scenes, because I've been to the 101 Mall, numerous times, and there's always a little display booth up top, not realizing that those booths are tied in with your organization. People will say, why are they always selling stuff? Well, now people know.
Yeah. And we have our regulars, and they come back and they say, because of the pandemic, we weren't allowed to sell our things. So this is the reason for the yard sale, and we're trying to gain some momentum again. But we'll be back out there again. But we have people that come in and say, but you're not there. How come? I had to go in. I wanted to get this and I wanted to get that. And they'll come by and just say, well, you're not there, but here's $20 for the kids, or here, let me know when you're going to be there again. And it's, so we have our regulars and we have our regular supporters.
Yeah.
There's Jean Gerald Fex there was saying, hello, Ann. Big fan of yours.
Oh, yes. Another fan. Hi, John.
There's Joanne there. She says, I spent a lot of time at the 101 Mall. My doctor and my optometrist are there. LOL. And to tie in with your yard sale, if people had items to donate for your yard sale, do you take them, or because of COVID you can't?
You do? No,
okay.
I do. Again, the number is 705-267-3147. And right now we're located in between the optometrist's office on the main floor and the razor strop. It's unit 214.
Okay.
And
101 Mall.
Yeah, at the 210, sorry, at the 101 Mall.
Perfect.
It's a one-on-one business complex now. They've changed the name.
Oh, is it the business complex? I did not know that.
We're living in the old times, saying the 101 Mall now, the business complex of Timmins. Look at that.
Yes, but they still have
that's a fancy term, eh?
It's all good.
And Mark always brags that he knows everything about Timmins, but he never told me this. So I think you're slipping a little bit.
I'm slipping a bit. There we go. So that's why we bring great guests on like Ann, who reside now the 101 business complex of Timmins.
There we go.
And, she can enlighten us. And as they say, always there's room to learn something new every single day. So, Ann, I just learned something new today. And I also learned a ton about your organization. Had no clue that was happening in, the 101 business complex. I had no clue. And it's such a pleasure to know that, families, going through, stressful times with their kids, needing financial aid, they can pick up the phone, call you, and you're always going to be there 24/7. Well, obviously, on weekends they leave a message, but you'll always get back to them.
I will. It might take a day or two, but I will get back to them because there's some days that I'm busier than others, and depending on which season it is. Like I said, between the tax season, between the Christmas season, and the family season, but I always get back to them, and then, okay, come on in and let's work something out. Like whatever you need help with, we'll figure out something. And if I don't have the funds, because like I said, we're like a mom and pop type of organization where we have funds in there and we give it out as fast as we bring it in, but sometimes we give it out faster than what we can bring it in. So in that case, like I said, if somebody's in need, I'll go around to the different businesses in here and around, and I'll ask people, and I'll say, I have a child that needs this, this, and this, and they need funding to go wherever, and can you provide me with some support? And 9 times out of 10, I'll get a yes, and I'll get a donation, in which case we put it in the bank and send it off to the child then. I've never had to turn a child away without giving them anything. Like, sometimes it might not be as much as what the parent would have wanted, but there's always something there for the child.
And again, very crucial for donations. If donations can pour in, go see Ann at the 101 Business Complex, and let's pad the bank and keep family. You never know when that next phone call is going to happen, so the money needs to be there. And if it's not there, you're through hell or high water, you're going to find a reason to get that money for that family. You're never going to let a family go without.
Yeah, that's right.
But
we really thank you so much, Ann, for coming on the show, sharing the stories about your organization.
You never know what your life is going to bring. Your child.
Oh, I think we might have lost Ann near the end of the interview.
Did we lose her? Maybe she'll pop back on here, but it was such a treat to have Ann Dysart on the show. Again, Smiles for Hugs. Smiles and Hugs for Canadian kids. There she is. She's on a different channel.
She's on a different channel, and we just there you are. Oh, we might have,
My internet connection is not the best.
Well, you know what? It was good enough to get you through 90% of this interview, which is
Well,
maybe someone out there, if someone were to donate,
and I thank you too, Lori, for suggesting.
Yeah.
What if someone offered, if they said, here, we're gonna pay for your internet or something like that at some of the utilities, will you say yes to that? Joanne said it must be the fiber op. Yes.
Yeah,
I would say thank you very much, and the kids would appreciate it.
There we go.
Excellent stuff.
Well, thank you so much, Ann, for joining us. It was a real privilege. We'll definitely.
Well, the cost, like I said, to me, it doesn't make much sense to pay out $125 for.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
it didn't make much sense to me to put out $125 for internet when I don't really need internet. Do you know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I share.
Well, there we go. And we definitely got to hear the story of what's going on and all the wonderful that Ann's doing. But thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming on. Keep up the good work, and we'll remain in touch.
Thanks, Ann. We'll be by for that yard sale on Wednesday. We'll buy some CDs. I'm definitely going through your CD rack there on
DVDs.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ann.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Wednesday.
Oh,
She back, oh, bring her back in. Is she back in there again?
you want me to bring her back?
For all of August.
There we go.
There we go.
Bye, Ann. Yeah, I guess we had a little bit of a technical troubles near the end.
Well, she said it's a little shoddy there, the one-on-one mall to begin with, and again, she's sharing internet, so things happen. But it was nice to see her on the show, and again, no word of a lie, this is the first time I've heard of such of this amazing organization. I've been to the one-on-one mall. I used to be an RBC client, and you'd always see the trays of goodies for sale, not realizing where the funds of those goodies are going. So again, Wednesday, and she said for the rest of the month, they're going to have yard sales. So whatever you see in the one-on-one mall, make sure you browse and pick up a $3 CD. Why not? For $3, you can't go wrong with that.
Now, Kinsman, they're DVDs. One plays movies and one plays music.
Well, DVDs. Yeah.
So I know Janice is going there because they got lots planned with this RV. You got to be stocked up because you're not getting Netflix out of the camp.
No, definitely not. But again, you can't turn down a $3 DVD, right?
Yeah,
it's like
that's right. See, look at this. I'll bring Mason with me, and he can pick up some DVDs and give a hug. Yes.
That's right.
He's such a sweet kid, that Mason. He just walks around the farmers market saying hello to everyone, high-fiving. It's like the whole world should be filled with Anns and Masons, right?
Anns and Masons. Life would be less stressful. Seeing Mason, yesterday, he's got, the KINZ and KLOMP mask on. He's got our shirt on. The kid is like a huge, huge supporter of our show. We love Mason. And apparently when he walks Gillies Lake, his mom, Janice, he gets stopped about 5 or 6 times all lap from people saying, hey, you're the guy on KINZ and KLOMP that sells the shirts. Like Mason's famous here in the city.
He's awesome. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He is amazing. All right. So that was, I love having guests like Ann on who are doing wonderful. Her and her team volunteers that, go out of their way to make someone's life a little bit better. All right, Kinsman. So one thing we wanted to talk about before you go pour some, what is it, calamine lotion on your
calamine lotion? I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I think it's honestly the lighting. My little guy plays with the settings on my computer and the lights, and well, I think one of the setting is a little off, just like your blinds earlier.
Well, did you notice my lighting issue now self-corrected?
That's right. I think the sun sank a little bit lower, but yes. I'll deal to my burn, my tan, and we're also going to deal with Catch the Ace, Lisa Bertrand and her crew at the Culturel Center La Ronde here in the city, larondeacetimmins.ca. Wednesday, the next draw is coming up, 1:15. I don't know if you looked in your wallet or not, but $2,256 is up for grabs for Wednesday. And again, you can get yourself a ticket. 3 for 10, 10 for 20, or 50 tickets for $50. And again, the more tickets you buy, the higher the jackpot gets. Right now, $22.56 is where that jackpot sits.
Yes, we love them, and we want to see that new Francophone Center built.
That's
we want to go to Laramie.
Laramie. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Good night. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Yes, Kinsman does look orange, and it's
well. It could be just obviously the orange shirt, the color radiating off me, but yeah.
I don't know. You're burnt. You don't want to admit it.
Got a little bit of sun. Yes.
Do you got one of those cold KINZ and KLOMP beers with you? Maybe just put it on your face.
I do have a KINZ and KLOMP beer right there.
Yeah, you're not going to put it on your face to cool off, no?
No, don't need it to cool off.
All right. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you after the show.
All right, buddy. We'll see you on when are we chat next? Tuesday night. We've got do we say who's going to be on our show on Tuesday?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Derek Sagan, the comedian, is going to join us. There's a big show coming, and a bunch of shows in Northern Ontario, a bunch of them here in this city. So we're going to chat with the funny guy who's going to tell some jokes. And I'm going to take one from Jamie. He's going to tell jokes that people laugh at, right, Jamie?
Yeah, he is going to tell jokes that people laugh
on
at.
Tuesday's show.
Yeah. How would you use retirement fund? Yeah, there we go. Yes, good night. Good night. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Someone sent Desmond over a bag of ice cubes to put on his face for the night.
No, I'll be fine. You know what? It's funny. I'll get the sun for my years of playing golf tomorrow. I'll look like I'll look like I've browned and tanned. People pay to get their color to look like that. Here, I can just go out in a day and walk 5K for Patricia Valentine, and I'll be tan tomorrow. So it's all good. Again, getting a little bit of color for today's cause is well worth it, more than worth it.
All right, I agree. Good night, my friend.
All right, buddy.